Hi guys, it's Legionero. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 11 of our 12 days of DIY Christmas gift ideas. Today we are doing a pillowcase. Alright. I hope you can see this whole pillowcase. I used some Ankara print fabric that I had in my stash, and I also gave it an accent color to separate the two, the top from the bottom. This is a quick and easy project, and it will make great gifts because you can use all different types of fabric for this pillowcase. I'll make sure that I place all of the measurements for the fabric that you're going to need in the description box below, as well as on my blog. I'll place all of that information so you can find it in various places to make this pillowcase. And this pillowcase fits a standard size pillow. So let's get started. Alright, so once you have all three of your fabric pieces cut, remember your larger piece is 3/4 of a yard. And then you're going to cut another piece the same length, but the width is going to be 9 inches. So your 9-inch piece is going to be the same length. And then you'll cut another strip, and this is a contrasting strip. You'll cut that the same length, but the width is 2.5 inches. So once you have this contrasting piece, it's to separate the sleeve from the rest of the pillowcase. Go ahead and take this 2.5 piece and fold it in half and press. Alright, so fold it in half and press, and you're pressing it lengthwise. So take your 9-inch piece first and your contrasting piece, and you're going to pin them together right side spacing. And your selvage edge is, they're not meeting. I have one going to my right and one going to my left. Alright, you're pinning the raw edges together. Alright, and this is your 9-inch piece and your 2.5-inch piece. So once you have this pin, you're going to take your 3/4 of a yard piece and you're going to place it on top, right side spacing. Alright, so you're sandwiching that contrast piece in between the 3/4 of a yard piece and the 9-inch piece. You're sandwiching that contrast piece together. Alright, so I'm just going to pin. And these pins right now is just to hold this in place because I don't want it to shift. Alright, so now what we're going to do, grab the end of your 3/4 of a yard piece and bring it up, not all the way to the top. Maybe about 2 inches from the top. Right? So bring the edge about 2 inches from this raw edge here, and then fold it up again. Right? And fold it up one more time. So you have like a roll here of that 3/4 of an inch piece. And what you're doing, you want to bring the rest of the 9-inch piece, because this is the 9-inch piece here, the other end of the 9-inch piece. You want to bring that up to meet the raw edges that you already have pinned together. You want to sandwich your little roll in between the 9-inch piece. Right? So let's do it again. This is your 9-inch piece. This is your 2.5-inch piece. Just going to take it and I'm going to line up the raw edges. And I'm just going to place a few pins just to hold it in place. So now take your 3/4 of a yard, your larger piece, and you're going to place it on top of that contrasting piece, right side spacing. Right, your raw edges are meeting. And I'm just placing these pins to hold this in place. And don't worry if your edges are not nice and neat. We'll fix that later. I'm going to add one more pin just to kind of hold it in place. I may add a few more. All right. So now grab the end of your larger piece, your 3/4 of a yard piece. You're going to bring it up maybe about 2 inches from the top, not all the way to the top, the raw edge, not all the way, maybe about 2 inches away from it. Then grab the end again and bring it up again. Grab the end again and bring it up again. So now you should see the rest of your 9-inch piece. We're going to take the rest of the 9-inch piece and we're going to have it meet the raw edge, and we're going to pin it. So you're basically sandwiching your larger piece in between the 9-inch piece. All right. So you bring it up to the raw edge, remove that pin, and place that pin again. Now as you're pinning, make sure you feel, because when we're sewing down this edge, we don't want to sew our donut, right? The donut of our larger piece, we don't want to sew that. We want to make sure that's out of the way. So as you're pinning and sewing, make sure you feel to make sure that's out of the way. So I'm just going to pin the rest of this together, these raw edges. All right, once you're finished pinning, go ahead and sew down and sew all the raw edges together about a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Make sure you don't get your donut caught in that seam allowance. All right, just your raw edges only. All right, once you have this pressed all nice and neat, you're going to take it and you are going to place it with the wrong side spacing. All right, not the right side how we usually do things, but with the wrong side spacing. Right, and we need to trim off these selvage edges. All right, so fold this in half as best you can. I'm going to put some pins here at the top, and that's just to hold it together for me. So you just want to even it up. All right, you don't want to take too much off of it, but you want to make sure it's even. So you want to even up your long side as well as the bottom of your pillowcase. So I'm going to start with the bottom first. And like I said, I'm just evening it up. Now I'm just evening up my sides. Once you have everything all nice and even, go ahead and pin down the side. Go ahead and pin down the side and the bottom, and remember you are pinning the wrong sides together. And make sure you start here to make sure that these seams where your contrasting fabric is, make sure you start there to make sure those seams are lined up, because when we finish, you want that to be nice and straight. Once you have pinned down the sides and the bottom, wrong side spacing, take it to the sewing machine. You're going to sew down the side and down the bottom using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, once you have sewn down the side and the bottom, you go ahead and turn it so that the wrong sides are facing. Trim down your seam allowance to about 1/8 of an inch. I serged mine, but you can trim yours down to about 1/8 of an inch. Once you have the wrong side now facing out, take it to your ironing board, give it a good press. Make sure your corners are poked out all nice and neat. After you take it to the ironing board and give the side and the bottom a good press, you are then going to take it to your sewing machine and you're going to top stitch along the side and the bottom. All right? And this is with the wrong side facing up. And your right sides are together. You know it's your right side because you have your contrasting fabric on the inside. Once you have sewn around, top stitched around about 1/4 of an inch, you can go ahead and turn your pillowcase to the right side. And you have a nice clean finish on the inside. If you want, you can take this to the ironing board, give it a good press, and you are all done with your pillowcase. All right, and I just grabbed one of my standard size pillows and it fits perfectly. All right, guys, now you have a quick and easy DIY pillowcase. All right, and I love this pillowcase because I just found this print in my stash and it was perfect. All right, I will definitely be adding this to my bed. All right, and look, I think I even matched the shapes on this. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but it happened. All right, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. And also click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. And I will see you in day 12, our last day of our 12 days of DIY Christmas gift ideas.